All right. Hi, guys. Oh. Ow. Cool. Let me just get set up here and then we will get started. So I am going to show you the V-stitch. I said that I would do a stitch and then we would start the gnome. So give me just a second here. I just need to stick this in the group. Eventually, and then we'll get started. To a group. There we go. I am trying to get started decently right away. That way, yeah, we can get as much gnome time as we can. Okay, so this is the stitch that I'm going to be showing you guys. I guess I should get this up so that I can see. There we go. All right. This is the stitch I'm going to be showing you guys right here. V-stitch. So I'm just going to get some extra yarn here and we're just going to start from the top. This one you want to chain in odd numbers. However big you want to make it, just make sure it's an odd number. So let me know when you hop on. Say hi. Make sure I can see comments. If you don't know how to do a chain or a slip stitch or any of that, please watch my basics tutorial because I do show how to do that. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so odd numbers. We're going to do an extra 2. So whenever you say in a pattern where it says chain in odd numbers or multiples of 2 or whatever, plus 2, that's what that means. So we chained in an odd number plus 2. And the reason for that is because this is going to be the first side of our V-stitch. So we're going to flip it over and work in the bump. So we chained 2 extra, so we're going to skip 1, 2. This is a double, so we're going to yarn over and get in that bump. Oh, come on. Forgot to turn my phone on silent. Sorry, guys. Okay. So you're going to double stitch. This has nothing to do with the gnome. I'm just showing a V-stitch. And then... Ha! Did I put it in the wrong group? My bad. Thank you. I stuck it in the wrong group. I just went on autopilot because, you know, I always share my sales lives to that. My bad. I'll go in there and delete it. All right. Double stitch. Okay, so you have your... Oh, crap. I lied. I lied. I lied, I lied, I lied. I'm not thinking correctly. All right, let me go in here and delete that from the speakeasy. Or else I'll just be thinking about that and then I'll continue to screw up. I lied. Don't do what I just did. The chaining part's fine, but... Okay. Can delete. Okay, cool. Your post has been deleted. Thank you. All right, let's start over. Thank you for telling me that, Bubbles. Nah, didn't mean to go live in there. Nope. All right, slip stitch. We'll do 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Here's where I screwed it up. Sorry. So we have 11. We have an odd number. You're going to chain 3, not 2. 3. So 1, 2, 3. Yarn over and do a double stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3. So you go into the 4th one, like so. Come on, thank you. And double crochet. All right, that's gonna count as your first V. Cool. So after this, you're gonna yarn over, skip 1, 2, go into the 3rd one. This stitch is good for things like market bags, scarves, hats, anything where you can have a nice size hole in there. I'm doing a V-stitch first. I'm doing a V-stitch first, and then we will start with the gnome, because not everybody wants to do a gnome. Not everybody will want to do whatever project we're working on. So I said that I would show a new stitch first, and then we'll start with the gnome. So you have your double. Chain 1. Go into that exact same stitch. The exact same one. And do a double. Like that. That is a V stitch. So we just got done with 1, skip 2, and go into the next bump. Once you get off the chain, it's so much easier to do, and I will show you in just a second here. So you do a, there we go. You do a double, chain, and double in the same stitch. Okay, now you see, skip 2 and you're left with your very last one on the row, right? On your very last one on the row, you're just going to do a single, well, you'll do a double crochet, but you're just going to do 1 double crochet on the last one. Are we serious right now? One double crochet. That's it. Like that. Then we turn it. And you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, see the V, right? Get it up here. Make sure you can see. You see the V here. That's what we made. Here's our first double, and then a chain, and then a double. Make sure you can see it. Yeah, there we go. Double, chain, double, double, chain, double. So this space here in between the V's, that's where you're going to work. This entire space right here in between them. So you chained 3. You're going to do a double in that space right here in between the wall basically that we made right there and the V. And you're going to do 1 double. So we chained 3 so that is a V. See? Go to the next one. Here's the V. You leave the V alone. Go in where that hole is. Double, chain, double. I only want to do this part for 15 minutes. Then we're going to go to the gnome. So here's the next V, space in between, double, chain, double. Then you have the V that you started out with, right? When you did the chain 3 right here. You're going to do a single crochet in the center of the V. That's your wall, that's your side. So you just go into the center of that V and do a double. So I'm going to do it one more time. Turn it, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. In the space between the side and the V, you do a double stitch. There's your V. In between the V's, double, chain, double. In between the V's, double, chain, double. And then right in the center of this V, do a double. Okay, so that is a V stitch. Here's what it looks like. Let me make sure you can see it. Give it just a hot second. But that is what it looks like when you have it done. Can you guys see it? I guess I should put it down a little bit more, huh? If you have questions, feel free to ask. That's what it looks like. All right, cool. Now, we're going to get started with the gnome. The gnome. Okay, so you need to have your pattern, right? You need to have your pattern open. I have it on my laptop over here, but you need to have it open so that you can, or print it out or written down or something so that you can follow along, so that you can learn to read the pattern. All right, I need to make this into a double window so that I can see comments. Just a second, didn't really think about that. All right. Here we go. So in the pattern, it's Jen Hayes Creations. She does a very good job at writing out the pattern. I looked at it. I haven't done this pattern yet, but I have looked at it just to make sure I knew everything that was in there, and I do. We're good. So in any free pattern that you get, you're going to have a backstory with it, just like recipes, right? Nobody ever reads them. It's fine. Just go down to where it says the pattern. Now it does say difficulty intermediate. It's okay, because I'm going to walk you through literally everything. We're going to do it together. So, materials, you need a hook. You need an E-hook. Now, you'll notice that my E-hook looks different than all my other hooks because the thing broke in half. My E-hook broke in half. Where are you getting the pattern? It is in the group, in the announcements when I said, or when I announced what we were doing. If you look in the comments, I put the pattern, the link to the pattern, and then I also put pictures of all the materials that you'll need. So here's what my hooks look like, and then here's my E-hook. And my E-hook broke in half, and Cody, God love him, he actually, I need the scissors. He actually took the broken one out. Even though he tried to glue it back in, he tried to glue the broken one and then put it back in here, and it didn't work, so we had to get a new one. And so he took all the glue out and then shoved this baby into here so that I could have an E-hook with a grip. He's awesome. Anyway, okay, so you're going to need an E-hook, which is a 3.5 millimeter. E is the United States thing for it, right? 3.5 millimeter is the European measurement. So that's what that is. You're going to need stitch markers. Now, you can use extra yarn, just little scraps of extra yarn if you want, or you can use these. I love these. You're going to need scissors. These are the scissors that came with my cool little kit, which I did put a link to in the group. A tapestry needle, which is over here. They look like this. This is a big one. They come in different sizes, but it's not a regular needle. It doesn't have a point to it. Don't hurt yourself. Stuffing. I call it fluff and stuff. Every time I ask Cody, I'm like, Cody, where's my fluff and stuff? A dowel rod or chopsticks to stuff it, which, I mean, you really don't need, to be honest. I don't know where this one went. This company always puts something in it. It's just a matter of trying to find it, because sometimes it's like right in the middle. But anyway, something to stuff it with. You can use your finger. I use my finger most of the time. Sometimes if it's a really small space, I'll use like a pen. Pins, I don't know what she wants pins for. We'll have to see. A brush, a pet brush. Now, this particular pattern doesn't make the beard super bushy. If you want the beard super bushy, you will need one of those pet brushes. They have like the wire bristles so that you can brush out the yarn and it'll make the beard nice and bushy. I don't have one. I don't want a super bushy beard for this one, so it is what it is. You'll need yarn. You're gonna need gray. Well, you can make it whatever color you want. I tried to keep it close to what the picture looks like for you guys. So you'll need gray. I shouldn't say I sent Cody on a mission to find yarn for me, and we could not find any ginger yarn. So, for his beard, that's what it is. So we are going to have a multicolored ginger beard. I'm going to use pink instead of bone. I can't find my super light colored yarn. I don't know where it went. Whatever. He's going to have a pink nose. You're going to need white. And you're going to need green. Okay. That is all. So let me keep going down. Your gauge. So, when you crochet, sometimes you can crochet a little bit tighter than the person who did the pattern. Sometimes you can crochet a little bit looser than the person with the pattern. The gauge is important if you're making something like clothes or something that needs to be a certain size. So it says, good. Okay, awesome. Using hook size E, the first 8 rounds of the body equals 2.75 inches in diameter. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow the pattern for 8 rounds. 8 rows. And then you're going to measure it to see if it's 2 3/4 inches. If it's not, then you either need to adjust by using a different size hook, or you need to adjust your tightness. Now, for this, it doesn't really matter. If it's a little bit bigger, if it's a little bit smaller, it doesn't really matter because this gnome isn't going to be fitting someone like clothes would. So I'm not really going to worry about the gauge, but you should if it's something that you're going to be wearing where size really does matter. Keep that in mind. Okay. The finished measurements, when we're done, it's going to be approximately in a sitting position without the hat. Okay, so the body is going to be approximately 4.5 inches. With the hat, it's going to be approximately 8 inches. That's good to know. That's good to know when you're finding a pattern. Okay, design notes. You can go through and read that. It's good to know. I'm just not going to go through it right now. Abbreviations. This is perfect. I love when they put an abbreviations list because now you know in the pattern it's going to say BLO, which means back loop only. You don't know what that means? Don't worry. I'll show you when we get there. CH is chain. Crab stitch is also a reverse single crochet. That's awesome because I've never heard it called a crab stitch. I do know what a reverse single crochet is though, so we're good. FLO is front loop only. Half double crochet, round, single crochet 2 together. Now, that one is also called an invisible decrease. And I'll show you that when we get there. Don't worry. Don't get overwhelmed. I swear I will show you. So, single crochet 2 together is also an invisible decrease. They're used interchangeably. Slip stitch. You already know what a slip stitch is. No, you know what a chain is. Never mind. Magic circle, yarn over, you know what yarn over means. And the brackets means work the instructions between the brackets as many times as indicated. So it'll say something like 4 single crochet, then a single crochet together. And then it'll have brackets around that. And it'll say repeat 4 times, right? So you repeat the single crochet and then the together 4 times. Pretty simple, right? All right, let's play follow the leader. We're going to start with the nose. We're going to start with the nose. So I'm going to get my pink. You get your bone or whatever you have. Whatever color your nose is going to be. So, first thing we're going to do is a magic circle. Okay, and I love that it's labeled nose. So you are making the nose right now. Make 1. He doesn't have more than 1 nose. Okay. So, using color A, which is bone in the picture. Yes?
You're fine.
Oh, okay. So, a magic circle. A magic circle is different than a chain like we have been doing. Okay, so pay attention and please ask questions if you need to. So we're going to make a circle. Just like this. Doesn't need to be super big. Just don't make it super small. Don't like put it around your finger like that like we did for a slip stitch. We're not doing a slip stitch. Just make a decent size circle. Okay? Put your hook through the loop. Okay, we have a circle. We put it through. We're going to take our yarn, pull it through. Okay? Now, I always hold it like this to keep the circle kind of nice and taut. Yarn over, pull through. You have 1 little stitch there, right? Don't worry, it's not going to count as a stitch. Don't even, that's just our starting point, okay? So let me do that again. You make a little circle. There's your little circle. Let me put it there so you can see. There's your little circle. Put your yarn through. Or put your, not your yarn. Put your hook through. And pull the yarn through the little circle. Yarn over. And pull it through that first loop. There's your starting point of the magic circle. Please let me know if you have questions. So here's your starting point. Right? So it says 6 single crochet in a magic circle or an adjustable circle. Okay. So you're going to single crochet. Put your hook through. Hang on. Put your hook through the circle. Yarn over. Bring it through. So now you have 2 loops. Yarn over. Bring it through both. Right there is your first single crochet. So what I suggest you do is get a stitch marker or your yarn or your extra yarn, whatever you're going to use. I suggest you put a stitch marker right through the top of that first stitch, because that marks the beginning of your circle. That was your very first stitch. Like I said, please stop me if you have questions. Okay, so we have The stitch marker, there's stitch number 1. Put your hook through, yarn over, so that you have 2 loops, yarn over, bring it through both. It's just a single crochet. There's number 2. You did not get the circle. Okay. That's all right. That's all right. Let's go back. All right. So you make a circle, yeah? You make a circle like so. Put the hook through the middle. Yeah? You just stick the hook right through the middle. Getting the magic circle is important because this is how you're going to start most of your gnome. So you make the circle, you stick the hook through the center of it. Put the yarn in the back here, bring it through. So it looks like that. So you just have one little loopy on your hook. Then you're basically just going to chain. Yarn over, pull it through. Does that make sense? Let me do it one more time. If it doesn't make sense, tell me what part so I can be a little more clear or figure out what I'm doing that is confusing. Okay. So I'm going to do it one more time, which will give you time to comment. So let me know. Make a circle, right? And when I make the circle, I make it so that the yarn that I'm going to be working with, all this down here, is on top. So you just do a little circle, stick your hook through the center, and pull that yarn through the center of the circle. Then yarn over and just chain it. What do we think? Am I still on the camera? Great. What do we think? Did you get it? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm going to do it one more time. Make a circle. So you make the circle. Hook through the center of it. Maybe I need to hook through the center of it. Bring that yarn through. Okay? Bring the tail off to the left side. Then yarn over, pull it through. All right, I'm going to continue, but if you have questions, stop me again. Seriously. If you don't get it, let me know. All right, so then we're going to single crochet, right? You keep the tail right in the center, or right on the end of the circle, edge of the circle, not end, edge. Do a single crochet, that's your very first stitch. Hey, stop. What are you doing?
Somebody has to come pick up today and I got it around.
Oh, cool. Then you're going to put your stitch marker into that first stitch. like so. So that's 1. We need 6 total. So single crochet, that's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop me if I'm going too fast. So how do you know it's 6? The V at the top there, right? Let me make sure that you guys can see it. Hopefully it will. Nope. Nope, nobody can see that. Okay, cool. There we go. The V on the top, you count those. So the first one we have our stitch marker in, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good to go. You take that tail and you pull. Pull it nice and tight. And it makes a circle. It makes a closed off circle. I'm gonna stop here. You tell me. Are you here? Did you get here? Do you have questions? This has a nice long tail. Don't worry, it's fine. If it's super long, you can cut it, or you can just stuff it right into the nose. That's the awesome thing about amigurumi, is that the ends, you can just stuff. It's great. All right, I'm gonna leave it there for a second. You tell me, are you good? Are you with me? Sorry, I needed a drink. Are you with me? Did you get the magic circle? That's a magic circle right there. That's it. That's a magic circle. Sometimes it'll have 6, sometimes it'll have 8, sometimes it'll have 10 stitches, but it'll tell you, just like it did here. It said 6 single crochet and a magic circle, I think. Okay, cool. So, does this need to be closer? Is this too far away? Let me know if I need to make this closer. I might need to. I don't know. We'll see. It's not really circle. It'll have kind of a flat edge here. We'll fix that. Don't worry. It has a little bit of a flat edge, so it's kind of like a half circle right now. But it's okay. As long as it has 6 single crochets in there and it's nice and tight so that it doesn't have a hole in the center, that's what you want. Okay, so that's round 1. 6 stitches. See, in parentheses it says 6 STS. 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're good to go. So the next round is 2 single crochet in each stitch around, which is 12 stitches. So here's what we're going to do. You take that stitch marker out because you're going to be working in that stitch. The one where the stitch marker is at, you're going to be working in that one. So here we go. Single crochet. Stick your hook through both of those loops. Right there. See? Stuck my hook through both of those little V's that we counted before, right? They're called a front and a back loop. Single crochet right in there. So there's 1, 2 steps of the single crochet. And look, now it's a full circle. Now it's a full circle. So that first stitch that we just did, we're just gonna stick our stitch marker right in there so that we know that's the start of the circle right there. So, so it says 2 single crochet in each stitch around. That means you're gonna go right back into that stitch that you just did, those loops, and you're gonna put 2 single crochets right in there. So you have 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Let me make sure. Can you guys see? There we go. 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Does that make sense? I'm going to stop and I'm going to wait. You tell me, does that make sense? Oh, I have such dry cuticles. I'm sorry. Just looking at the live over here because I can't see nothing up there. Does that make sense? Are we good? Maybe I should redo it one more time just to make sure. So I'm just going to go back to the beginning. Of row 2. So, hang on, let me go back to the beginning of row 2. Let me get my... I just need a loop, please. Thank you. Okay. Put my stitch marker back where it was, because this was the beginning of the magic circle, which is row 1. Magic circle is row 1. So here's where we started with round 2, right? Take the stitch marker out, go into that stitch that the stitch marker was in, and single crochet. And I like to pull it nice and tight there. Then we put our stitch marker back in because that's stitch number 1 of the round. And it says we need to 2 crochet in each stitch. So we're going to put a second one right in that first stitch. So basically what we're doing is we're doubling the size of the circle. So each of these stitches around here is going to have 2 single crochets in it. It's going to double the size of the circle. All right, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to continue. Please stop me if you have questions. If you don't stop me, don't feel stupid. Do not feel stupid at all. The only stupid question is the one not asked. So do not feel stupid asking me questions. Nobody asked you.
But there was no stupid questions.
Nobody asked you to ask a question.
Okay.
All right, so we go into the next stitch, and we're going to do 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Right? And then we're going to go into the next one and do 2. 1, 2. See? We're halfway done with round 2. We're halfway done. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches in our round. We need 12. This is important. You need to make sure that you count your stitches. So we have 1, and in the same one, 2. Next one, 1, 2. Now if you notice, the next one is the last one before our stitch marker. This is why you need the stitch marker, either one of these or the scrap yarn, it doesn't matter. Something to mark the stitch that you started on. So the last one, we do 1, 2. There's supposed to be 12 stitches in round 2, so let's count them. Starting with the one that the stitch marker's on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12. Do you have 12? Let me know. Let me know. Are we good? Sorry, I needed pillows. This was starting to hurt. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. Whew. So much better. Oops, I was laying on my gray. Too many. Whoops. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. What happens when you have too many? You go, you pull it out, right? Pull it out up to your first stitch. Or if while you're pulling it out, you see where your mistake is, cool, just stop there. But most of the time when I do a circle, I'm like, F it, I'll just start the row over. Totally fine. Okay, whoops, we had too many. That's all right. That's all right. Just pull it out up to the first stitch marker. Because you know that first stitch marker, you're good. And then we just do it again. So we have the first stitch there. So we need one more in this one. That's 2. Go into the next hole here and count. 1, 2. And if you want, you can count as you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good. Next one. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so how do we tell if we're on track, right? Well, we had 6 stitches in the first round. We know that because the directions told us it was 6 stitches. Good reminder. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means that we should have 3 stitches in the first round here, right? Because we're doubling it. So we already did 3. Sometimes I'll count it that way too. This is a good tip. Sometimes I'll count it that way too. I'll say, okay, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2. So let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You got it. Okay, cool. So we have 12 stitches in our row. So the next round, round 3, we have the brackets here. So single crochet in the next stitch, then 2 in the next one 6 times. What does that mean? So we're going to take our stitch marker out because we're working on the next row. Take the stitch marker out. All right, that stitch that you took the stitch marker out, you're going to single crochet 1 time. So there's 1. Put your stitch marker back in. The next one, you're going to do 2 single crochets in there. So we have, it's fighting me. Okay. 1, 2. So you've gotten through 2 you've gotten through 2 stitches of round 2, but you've made 3 new stitches. That make sense? Does that make sense to everybody? So you have 3 new stitches in 2 of the old stitches. So you're going to repeat that 6 times. So we do, the start of the bracket says single crochet. Then in the next one, 2 single crochets. Now when I do this, because this is pretty much how you're going to do all amigurumi stuff, what I usually do is I'll say single to myself. I'll say single, double, because there's 2 in there. And then on to the next one. Single, double. That's not a double crochet. This is just what I tell myself, because there's 2 in the next stitch. Then, why do I always put that over it should go over here. Single, double, single, double. And that is row 3. So row 3 needs to have 18 stitches. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I miscounted somewhere. I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I only have 17 stitches. All right, cool. So we'll go back to the first stitch. We're going to leave that first stitch in there. You tell me when you're good. When you have 18 stitches, you let me know. So what did I do wrong? Let me double check. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, okay. I don't know what I did. Let's do this again. So we're doing good. Okay, good. Let me catch up. So we do single, double. I don't know what I did. Maybe I skipped one accidentally. Single. Eep. Double. Oops. If you want to work ahead, that's totally fine. Look at the next row. Row 4 and 5 say single crochet in each stitch around. Do you know how to do that? Single crochet in each stitch around. Just make sure that you're removing your stitch marker and then replacing it. Every time. Now I lost count. Single, double, single. Maybe that's what I did last time. Single, double, single. So this one should be a double. This is what happens when Meg talks and crochets. Double. Make sure. Single, double. Yes. Okay. On track. Single. Double. single, double, single, double, single, double. Okay. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. We're on 18. So, you know how to single crochet. It says right there 4 and 5, you're going to have 18 for 2 rounds. So, we'll do the first stitch. The first stitch, there we go. Replace our marker and just single crochet all the way around. 18 stitches. Now you will notice as you go that it starts to fold in on itself. When it does that, you want to make sure that the good side is out. What is the good side? You notice the difference between this side and this side? Let me make sure you can see that. There we go. All right, so the difference between this side where you can kind of see the lines versus this side that looks just kind of bleh. You want to make sure that the good side is on the outside. So when you do this and it starts to fold in on itself, make sure that this side, the good side, is on the outside. Okay? So go ahead and do rows 4 and 5. And let me know when you are done with row 5. I will say, you guys remember those witches hats that I did a while ago? I did them for Halloween. It started at the curly Q. That curly Q is literally 4 stitches in a magic circle. So you think this was rough getting started? 4 stitches in a magic circle, and it ended up going like 30 something rows to make it nice and long so that it did the curly Q, right? That was a bitch, I'm telling you. If you guys want to do those hats, we totally can. But they're tough to get started. I will say that. They are very frustrating until you get it. Once you get it, then you're fine. And it's very, very easy to lose count on those hats. All right. Let me know when you are done with row 5. So I just finished row 4. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Good. Next one. There's our first stitch. Now, sometimes I'll say, you know what? I'm just going to do a couple stitches in, and then I will place my stitch marker purely because it's easier to do. So I did 3 stitches. So we go back 1, 2, 3. And there was the beginning of our circle. I did not start doing that until I really got good at it so that I didn't lose place. And sometimes I'll forget to put my stitch marker in there and then I'm like, ah, crap, where did I start? That's fun. So we did 3. Here's 4. So do you see what just happened? My work did that. And it was going to do the bad side out. No. Go back. Go back. We need you like this. Okay, good. Bubbles is fast with her work. I mean, if I was just doing it, then granted, I probably would have had it done by now. But I'm crocheting and talking and trying to go a little bit slower so that y'all can see what I'm doing. But this is what I do to relax. This is like me time. I'll sit here and I'll watch a TV show and I'll just crochet. When I'm really pissy though, like when I'm in a really bad mood and I'm just like, F the world, I cross stitch. I have a project that I'm working on right now that's, I was just so mad at the world last night. No real reason, just, you know, hormones, endo, whatever. But I have an Inuyasha cross stitch that I'm doing, and it calms me down. It's nice. Sometimes it's crocheting that calms me down, sometimes it's cross stitch, but you know, just making things, right? Like doing this and then ending up with a physical product that you can see, I did that. That's what's nice. All right, let me just count here quick to make sure. The worst thing ever is when you're like 20 rows in and you're like, I don't have the right amount of stitches. And you wonder, where did I go wrong? That's why I count every row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Good. Okay. So, okay. So you see the little curly Q here? Row 1. That was your magic circle. 1. The next bump. 2. The next bump. 3. Next bump. 4. Next bump. 5. You just got done with row 5. This is another reason why having a row counter is also a very good idea. Every time you get done with a row, you do your little row counter, you're good to go. So let's go to the next row. 6 says single crochet in the next stitch, then single crochet together 6 times. I'm going to call it a decrease because that's how I learned it. Single crochet together is another thing you can do. So we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, which is the one that our stitch marker was on because that's the very first stitch in our circle. So there's 1. Put the stitch in there. Now, 2 single crochet together. Very easy, exactly like it sounds. You're going to take the next stitch, go into it, yarn over, pull through just like you would a regular single crochet. Don't go further than that. Go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. You now have 2 separate stitches together on your hook. Notice you have 3 loops. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And then I always pull it just a little bit to make sure it's nice and taut. You just put 2 stitches together into 1 single crochet. That is what's called an invisible decrease, because once you do it, once you're done, you can't see it. It just looks like a regular single crochet. So I'm going to show you again on the next one. So we have a single crochet, right? That's our next one. Just a regular single crochet. Then do it together. Go through, yarn over, there's 1, go through, yarn over, there's 2. 2 stitches together into 1. Does that make sense? And this is going to decrease the size of your circle. So, single, and then decrease. 1, 2, all 3 loops together. Does that make sense? So you can say to yourself single together or single decrease. Usually I say single decrease, but you know, whatever you want to do. So there was the single, and make sure you don't get your tail mixed in there. And the decrease. Single, decrease, and let me know when you're done with this one. Single, decrease. Okay, so when you look, and you can kind of just stick that tail in there, because now you're starting to get a nice little cove where that tail can just sit very nicely. So you want to count. This should be what, 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fudge! All right. Let's try it again. All right. We're on the single. Let me know when you're good. Single. Decrease. Single. Decrease. Single. Decrease. There we go. Single. Decrease. And single. Decrease. Single. Oh, guess I should finish the single. And decrease. Okay. That should be 12. Let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, good. You let me know when you have 12. I'm going to stop and I'm going to wait a little bit until you let me know that you have 12. Or if you have a question, oh, pop it back. If you have a question, let me know that too. What you think? Now, I will say, normally on the nose, because it's just a circle and you can see we're just about done. Okay, good. Normally, if I would have said, oh yeah, I have 11, I probably just would have let it go. Just been like, whatever. Whatever, just get it done. But I want it to be perfect so I can show you guys the right way. Okay, so you take your stitch marker out. We're now on row 7. Round 7. So we're going to single crochet in the next and single crochet together again. All right. Single crochet in the next. So there's our first stitch. Replace the stitch marker. Like so. So we'll do single and decrease one more time all the way around. So let me know when you are done with row 7. Come on now. Work with me. Here's my, there we go, decrease. Beautiful. And single. And decrease. How's it looking? Is it looking like a nose? And single, right? Single, decrease, single, decrease, single, yes. Oops. This one's a decrease. Single, decrease, and you'll notice that your last stitches are literally the end of the pattern. So if your last stitch is a single instead of a decrease, then you screwed something up, you need to go back. So there needs to be 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woohoo! Let me know when you are done with row 7. Your little nose. Look at your nose. Because guess what? That's done. Your nose is done when you are done with round 7. I'll show you how to end it. But your nose. Look at your little nose. He's so cute. See, that was easy. That was easy. Once you get the hang of it, right? And then I'm going to ask, do you want me to move on to the body today, or would you rather stop for today? If you want me to move on to the body, I will. If you would rather stop for today, I will. Our next one is going to be next Sunday at 3. But so let me know when you're done, and then also let me know if you want me to start the body today, please. I just want to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, okay. And our tail, our tail that we had from the magic circle is right in there. It's right in there. It's just stuffed in there all nice. So this is one that having something to stuff it might make your life a little easier because it's nice and small, but I don't care. I don't care. I still use my finger, which we will stuff it. How you doing? Bubbles is probably like, stop talking to me. I'm concentrating. I do that. Cody will start talking to me and I'll be like 25, 26, 27. Oh, you're counting. Yes. What do we think? You can kind of reshape it a little bit with your fingers. Make it a little more flat or circular. Whatever. Okay, cool. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch. Simplest thing you'll ever do in your life. Ready? Take the stitch marker out. In that stitch, you're going to yarn over and pull through, right? Just like a regular single crochet. Only instead of yarn over, we're not going to do that. We're just going to pull this one right through like that. And then make it nice and tight. So let me show you that one more time. You're right here. You put it through, yarn over, pull it through so you have the 2 loops, and pull that second loop right through the first loop. That is a slip stitch. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to grab your scissors, leave a nice long tail, and chop it off. Why do you leave a nice long tail? Because you are going to use this to sew this onto the body. Nice long tail. You will probably waste a little bit of yarn. It's fine. You want to waste yarn rather than not have enough on your tail to finish it. That's a BITCH right there. So, nice long tail, and then you just pull. Pull it through, make it nice and tight. And you, my darlings, have made your first nose. So then all that's left to do is the fun part. You grab, I really wish I could find my, I don't know where the thingy is. They always come with one. Anyway, you grab your fluff and stuff, take little bits at a time, and it'll tell you in the pattern to either firmly stuff or lightly stuff. That is important. But we want our nose to stay the shape it is. So we want to firmly stuff, which means that when you squeeze it, it doesn't really change shape a whole heck of a lot. So we have some fluff in there, but that's really easily squeezable. So we're going to stick more in there. So you grab a little bit more and you stuff. And you stuff, and you stuff, and you stuff. Is it a pain to stuff sometimes? Yeah. But it's okay. Because you just take all that aggression out. All that pent up nonsense going on in your head. You just take it and you stuff. And you stuff. This is why crocheting is therapeutic. Okay? I think that might be too much. We'll see. I want him to have a nice big nose. Nice and big, nice and fluffed up. And you just stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff. All right, let me know. Do you want me to do... Sorry, do you want me to start the body today, or do you want to leave the body for next week? Let me know. Totally up to you. I'm just kind of making sure all the little flyaways are in there. There we go. That's your nose. See, now I squeeze it and it stays nose shape. That is firmly stuffing your nose. Next week. All right. All right. That is absolutely fine. Then I just stick the rest of this back in my bag. And we'll save you for the body. Cool. This is your nose. Keep it safe. You're not going to do anything with your nose until you're done with the body. Okay? So we will start there next week. If you want to work ahead, you are more than welcome to. If you run into an issue, you can post it in the group or whatever you want to do. But I will show you how to do the body next week. It will be easier because you already know how to do a magic circle, right? Oh, well, you don't have to. You're not going to sew this on until after the body's completely done. So if you want to start the body today without stuffing the nose, that's fine. Just don't sew the nose onto the body until you get the stuffing is all. That's not a huge problem. If you want to start the body today, we can. If you're just like, nah, I'm still going to stick to just do it next week, that's fine too. I just don't want you to say, no, do it next week because you forgot stuffing. That's okay. But the body will be easier because now you know how to do a magic circle. You know how to increase and you know how to decrease. And guess what? Yeah, next week? Okay, cool. You know how to increase, you know how to decrease. That's literally all the body is. And if you look on the pattern where it says body, it has a nice picture of the body. Literally, we're going to be doing this in a bigger scale. So it will be easier next week. But anyway, cool. Sounds good. Then yes, make sure you have your stuffing. And next week you will need the green, the gray, and the white. Or whatever colors you're doing. It'll be the butt and the colors of the shirt. So make sure you have those. Cool. Then I will see you guys next week, 3 o'clock on Sunday, when we'll do the body. All right. I guess I can bring this down and give you guys a close look here quick so that I can... Oh, there we go. There's our little nose. So that I can finish. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Bye!